From the shores of the Galilee, join us in the hottest topics of the Middle East. Watch as prophecy unfolds. Ancient mysteries are revealed. I welcome you to Galilee Live.
Welcome to another episode of Galilee Live. Not sure who's here in the studio. We're actually at Joshua Aaron's music house, where we always are. That's awesome. And let's put our phones on. What? It's Joshua Aaron!
We're just chilling at Josh's house.
Yo, I was here the whole time. You didn't see me?
Well, you know what? We actually moved in here because we're loving this so much. So we just moved into your music house. He has another house nearby, too.
I slept here last night, actually.
On this pallet?
Yeah, it was a little rough.
Wow.
But,
like a little fetal position there, huh?
That's true. So my name's Chaim Mailspin with the Aliyah Return Center, Director of Operations, and of course...
Moshe Mailspin with Lightwaves Worship Project.
And, well, actually, I know you communicate a lot with music. In fact, your major, modus operandi is actually... That's actually music, so I'm going to sing a question to you. What's your name? Where are you from? Joshua Aaron.
Well, you just said my name. My name is Joshua Aaron.
And you're a worshiper.
And I like to worship the Lord.
Wow.
This is just practice for heaven.
That is so true.
Nice.
That was a great answer.
Let me
it looks
ask
like he's got some questions
one
too.
Question. How many kids do you have?
Kinders, like children.
Children.
Well, I have 5 chitlins.
Wow.
Blessed
That's a
be my
virtuous
rock. And God of my salvation be exalted.
Woo!
5 children.
That's true. Wow.
Blessed be the Lord. 'Cause I never sleep or wink.
Well, that's why we got you extra strong coffee.
You got some double espresso.
A lot
here.
of people fly to Israel just for this coffee and for the Galilee Live coffee. And I've seen you have actually a beautiful family. Oh,
That's
there's
cheating.
your radiant Proverbs 31 virtuous woman. And then, of course, eating some apples and honey.
Yeah.
Not that long ago.
That's
It
right.
was the
Couple days ago.
Feast of Trumpets, and which is so amazing.
Couple ukuleles.
A few.
We're always ready.
And what's their names? I actually know, but
Okay, Emma, she's 15. Blurry face. My name is Blurry Face.
21 Pilots.
Exactly. There's Max. So 13. Oh no, sorry, 15. Emma's 15.
Right.
Shuki's 13. Just had his bar mitzvah.
That's awesome.
Levi is 11. Max is 11.
Right. It's not a high quality
in
picture.
front of them too.
Oh, geez.
Max is 11. Levi is 6. And Benny was our surprise baby we had last year.
Wow.
And we actually didn't think we could have children anymore. We had 4 children, and
Right.
I went to the doctors, and I was having some complications. Like, you're fine, but you might not have any more kids. So for 5 years, we didn't have any kids. We're like, oh, the doctor was right. God gave us 4 kids.
I got you.
And then lo and behold, on May 14th, Israel's 70th birthday,
Oh, wow.
God gave us Benny Bam Bam, we call him. Little
Congratulations.
Benjamin Sion.
Wow.
He's such a cutie.
Now,
Born on Israel's 70th birthday.
Born in Israel, born right here in the
In
Galilee.
Israel, right
Yeah.
here, down the street. At the house
Boom.
right here,
And
2 miles away.
Doesn't it say, I forgot the reference right now, but it says where they will count, and this one was born
Yes,
there.
this one. I think you sent me that prophecy afterwards.
born
I'm
in the
like,
land. There's a different count.
Yeah, there's a numbering of God of children in the world.
Yes.
And they'll say, but this one was born in Zion.
Yes,
born
that's
in
right.
Israel.
Oh,
So-
I just love that.
Right.
So
here.
his middle name is Zion, Benjamin Sion in Hebrew, because of that passage. And then this one was born in Zion.
That's
so
true.
His name was
Benjamin
born
Sion.
in Zion.
Right.
That's powerful.
That's amazing.
That is powerful.
Yeah, so now this right here, these are actually from...
Oh, this is
what is this?
This is
exactly?
originated in Poland by the Polish Jews. Would make this on their Friday.
What's it called?
Fridays.
What is this?
It's called rogalach. Sounds
Rugelach.
very
Yeah, it's good
rugelach.
stuff.
It sounds very Jewish, right? Rugalach. You have the.
Now, is this-
Yeah. Well,
what is this dark
Yiddish
stuff?
is very similar. They kept some of the sounds.
Yeah, it's actually so the Polish Jews brought it. It was around the 16th in 1680,
Right.
and then it really was developed to its modern form in the 1900s. So and then
Wow.
it was brought to Israel by the Polish Jews.
Hey, he's a
and we
Polish Jew.
We actually, your
He's calling me
ancestors.
Pollock.
You are a Polak.
I take that as a compliment.
There's North
Actually,
Pole, there's South
your
Pole.
ancestors brought sweet things, just like
Okay.
you are still here today.
Do they, for Polish people who live in the northern part of Poland, are they called like North Poles? Is that a thing? I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to
sure.
dig into
I've never
this.
heard it, but
Are
I'm
you
sure
allowed
it
to dip it? Actually,
I don't know.
I don't know
Are
enough
we
about
allowed to eat this on
I
this show?
wouldn't. I wouldn't use. Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
chocolate? How many calories are we doing here? Are we?
Chocolate with pastry flour.
Hey, didn't you say on the other episode you're like, there's giants in the land, and I'm watching out for that pastry shop a few episodes ago, and now you went to that pastry shop,
And
and here
I
we
gained
are.
a few. I gained a few.
There are giants in the land. Come and
Taste and see.
become a giant. No, that's not. So you made your you were born
In America.
USAT,
That's right. T.
United States of Trump.
United States of Trump. Okay, sorry. I was born in America, but yeah, my mom. Actually, most of my family was from Poland. My father, all four of his grandparents migrated from Poland to America. So I grew up in a half Polish, half Italian town in America, with a Polish father and her grandparents, and my mother was Israeli. She was like the only Jew in town, yeah, I grew up eating pierogies.
And pizza.
Dancing the polka.
Pizza
Lots
with a side of
pizza,
pierogies.
the Italians, yeah. Italians had the pizza and the Polacks had the pierogies.
Pierogies.
The Polish people. But I had a Jewish mother, so my grandmother was Orthodox. So I remember like being this weird kid in school. People would say Jewish jokes once in a while, and I'd be like, and I didn't realize they were like, it was anti-Semitic, but it wasn't
Right.
like, it wasn't
Yeah.
deep. It was just more like they didn't realize they were saying
Right.
what their parents probably would have said at home,
Right.
their grandparents,
100%.
who might have been anti-Semitic in that era. But I grew up kind of just a little confused about who I was,
Right.
with an Israeli Jewish mother and
Right.
a Polish father from that area.
Could we ask you to dance the polka? I've never actually seen. I don't know if you.
Really?
I mean, if you want, you don't have to. No.
I actually,
Just
it's
joking.
one of my favorite things to do.
What?
Seriously? No way.
When I was in high school, I had this friend, his name's Mike. We always call him Crazy Mike because I could tell you 3 episodes of stories about Crazy Mike. And he was also a Polak, and on the east side of my town. And we used to all the kids would go skip out to go to parties.
Right.
We'd go to polka dances with all the old retirement homes. Just him and I.
Oh, that's awesome.
The old
That
ladies.
is awesome.
Woo, there's these 18-year-old boys dancing the polka with us.
The polka.
I love
wow.
Just got
polka
lit.
music. So I can't play the accordion, but I'm going to learn eventually.
Hey,
I love the accordion.
it was on one of your recent songs.
Did you
Yeah,
have
a bunch of songs. I'll like slip it in there. And the live album,
Yeah,
Live
I
at the
think-
Tower of David.
I think this is the live at the No, sorry.
No,
one
that's
second.
live in Poland.
There we go.
I love the Tower of David album. That was
Let me see if we
that
got
was
a little-
prophetic.
Nope.
That was prophetic.
Hacka wacka.
That's some weirdo with the beardo.
Yeah, so it turns out that you're live in the Tower of David. Let's see.
This is a song
Oh,
I
yeah.
wrote with my good friend
Oh yeah.
Aaron Chu.
So this was amazing that you
This
were
is
able to
phenomenal.
be in the Tower of David in the old
Yeah,
city.
praise God.
Yeah.
Praise
I
God.
mean, a Galilean in Jerusalem. That happened
Right.
before in the
Well,
upper room.
Well, the great Galilean tried not to go too often. Just, we just go visit and come back to the Galilee.
It was like bringing David back, the praises of
I
David.
wouldn't
back,
say
too.
that, but it was an honor to be
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the old city, and sing praises to the King
Yeah.
as a Messianic Jew, which I don't think has ever happened before, as a Messianic Israeli Jewish team to sing within the old city walls.
Yeah. It's
ever,
so
that we know of.
historic. And like you said, the Aliyah.
There's
and
our
the
accordion
returning.
player. He actually rested for a minute for this song, but I
That's amazing.
hired a famous Israeli accordion to come in, accordion player to play in this
Dude,
album.
so this isn't just about good music. This is about fulfilling God's word. This is actually, when you hear this, you're hearing the ancient fulfillment of these prophecies that I will
Yeah.
bring you back and I'll return you. And this talks about songs coming forth in Jeremiah.
Oh, yeah, songs from Zion.
will be sung in Zion. Wow, and old men with their canes walking, children playing in the
That's
streets
right.
of Jerusalem.
Amen.
Hey,
I mean,
is this
so-
the same accord? It looks like it.
No, that's just.
Oh, sorry, ukulele.
But he says, God says he inhabits the praises of his people. So really, what was happening, there was an inhabitation in the old city where his spirit was just poured out there. It was very
Amen. Amen.
powerful.
And there
Very
was,
powerful.
yeah.
And the word says, Psalm 40 verse 3 is my favorite passage in regards to what I do. Is He gave me a new song, a song of praise to our God. Many will see it and fear
Yes.
and put their trust in Him.
Yes.
So, like, how are they going to see it unless we just get our guitars and stand in the middle of the Tower of David, you know?
Just
It's
shine.
one thing to go into people's congregations and churches and share about the Lord, but it's supposed to be also a method of sharing our salvation, about the
100%.
salvation of Yeshua.
100%.
So I'm trying to be as bold. I spend every penny I could find on every new project. We crowdfund something, you know,
Yes.
as much as we can too. I try to do it too often to drive people crazy, but
No,
every 2
people are
years
standing
we'll crowd.
together. People
crowdfund
are
an
with
album.
you. I think you should do more. Be more bold. Just be like, hey, we're needing $200,000. That's nothing for God, you know. And to do these events because this is the season.
$1,000.
Well, hey, I mean, no, I think it's good. I mean,
do it.
as
That's
God is
epic.
restoring the
So
land, I love that
walk on
we're
water.
walking on water.
It's on the Galilee, yeah.
But as God's restoring the land, someone told me once, I said, why are you here working here in this land and helping? And he said, I got nothing better to do. I'm like, that's not the right answer. He said, no, it is. There is nothing better that I could possibly be doing in my life than serving the God of Israel's plans as the final chess pieces are moved, as the culmination of history is unfolding and the prophecies are effectuating.
Yes.
100%.
Prophecies
Amen.
are coming to life right before our eyes,
Amen.
right here, right? It's like even praise is coming back to hear. The Jews are coming
Yeah.
back. It's for preparation for God to return, clearly,
Yeah.
for Yeshua to return. What do you feel about, like, do you feel that there's a slowly, like an awakening of some sort amongst, as you traveling around the world, do you feel there's some type of awakening, deeper realization?
Absolutely, absolutely. First of all, there's an awakening among the body.
Yeah.
We're in Poria. So this village has, how many houses of prayer? 5 to 8?
Insane.
A lot.
And it's amazing. We all get along well. It's not like, hey, you're this, I'm this. We all get along really well. We have worship nights here on the deck.
Oh, it's so crowded,
you can't
come.
I
But the
remember you
same-
had the Italians over there. You had the
That was-
Israelis. You had the
Praise
I mean,
God. Paul
all
Wilbur
the-
was here.
Paul
He
Wilbur,
brought the people.
and
That was
no,
cool.
this place is packed all the time.
It's been just amazing. This place with the village as well as a whole. I didn't realize when I moved here there's so many worshipers.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Chaim is a worshiper, guitarist,
Yeah.
and Moshe as well. Like it's
I'm a newbie, but come and get in
word.
the
It's crazy.
Trying
God
to
gives
We
us
got our
songs.
sound technician, who's an amazing worshiper, a musician by his own right. Ryan over there. So
He's a wonderful worshiper too, man of God.
yeah, but it's
Him
funny.
and his
I don't think any of us came here for that reason.
No.
But something happened. Like there's Elisheva Shomron. There's all these
Alon
people.
Tamir and
Alon Tamir. There's
and-
Arnie Klein.
A lot.
All
Oh,
these
yeah.
worshipers that already live in the Galilee. And
Sarah Lieberman.
Sarah Lieberman also in the Galilee.
Uh-huh.
And it's something that was drawing us here. I think like this core that I didn't realize when I moved here. I just wanted to raise my kids in a great place for my family.
Right.
And I did feel like God wanted me to live here.
Right.
But it's cool to finally see us all pulling together.
Oh, yeah.
But as we all go out, a lot of us go out. I go out and travel. I try not to travel too much because I try to balance the family life
Gotta do it.
and the Israel life. But
You
as
probably
I go
get
out,
you probably get better sleep on the plane.
I do.
Like this.
I do.
than
you ever meet those parents like I can't wait to go back to work?
Oh.
That's not
Hey,
how
make
I
sure they
feel.
don't watch this.
That's not how I feel.
No.
But when I am on the road, I get more work done because when I'm home, I try to actually do it on purpose. I'm gonna finish that big project when I
Right.
get on the plane, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and then you do be back for the holidays. And,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
everyone
Exactly.
together.
My wife had a Bible study last night. I took the kids to the movies. Like I try
Yeah.
it when I'm home. I try to be with them as much as I can.
Yeah.
But as I travel, for instance, I go to Hawaii every year, suffering for the Lord.
Yeah, just suffering through that.
And for Sukkot, usually you go for Sukkot. Lately, I've been going to different times, but I just say call it a concert because in Hawaii, it's the most missionized, one of the most missionized places in the world. In other words, the Christians came years ago,
Right.
and it was 100% Christian.
Right.
So now we're not. I don't think we'd call ourselves Christian, would we? I don't know how.
Well,
I would say
believers, Jewish- yeah,
we
Jewish
say the phrase
believers.
believers.
Yeah.
But when we come to share the gospel as Jewish believers,
Yeah.
there's something that makes us neutral. That makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
For instance, I went to
Yes.
Poland and I sang with the Catholic diocese in Poland.
Oh wow.
And
That must have been awkward. Like such a
yeah, I
clash
didn't
of
come there as a
cultures.
Protestant. I didn't come there as another denomination. I came there as a first century kind of representative. I feel like that's what we represent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of we can shake ourselves off of any kind of history. There's a lot of good history, but there's also a lot of bad history.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go into Hawaii, and these Jewish people will come to all the pretty often to the concerts that aren't believers. They're like, why is this? Okay, singing some of these traditional songs I know, but wait a second.
Right.
What kind of Jew is he?
Right.
So afterwards, they'll come up
Yeah.
and ask me, and most of them don't even know what a Messianic Jew is.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them, hey, the greatest rabbi that ever lived, his name was Josua.
Right.
He's from right here.
Right
on
over
this
here.
lake.
29 out of
No
34
rabbi
miracles.
was ever did
Yes.
anything came near him historically.
Yes.
Historically.
Yes.
And he flipped the world upside down. He changed the calendar, or people changed the calendar to remember him.
Right. Right.
And it's
Yeah,
been
he did change it. Right.
It's such an amazing thing to see. 20 years ago, that probably wouldn't happen. There's an opening. There's more of an understanding about what's happening in these last days. It used to be, Jesus wasn't a Jew. Now it's like, hey, like the non-believers will say, hey, he's a Jew. Like they're kind of
Right.
proud that he was one
Right.
of them, even though
Right.
they don't accept him yet.
Yeah.
So there's been a change, I think,
Yes.
slowly that I've seen in the last 20
Yeah.
years of me sharing my faith with Jewish people. There's
Right.
been a big change, I'd say. Clearly, wouldn't you say that as well?
It's true. I mean, I remember just
Can't
a few
believe I
years
just
ago.
talked more than you.
No, just a few years ago, I remember I was at this place, and then I said, "Does anyone know where Jerusalem is?" And they're like, "No idea." A crowd of people, no idea. Isn't that like Narnia? Isn't that like? And I'm like, "Well, no, it's not. It's a real place. It's called our capital of our country. Anyone know on the map where Israel is?" Oh, I could spin the globe for a while. I don't think I'll find it. I was like, wow. But nowadays, more and more people are like, we understand Yeshua was a Galilean, was Israeli, and we understand that God isn't done. Romans 11, God's not done with His people, and He actually has a plan that it started here, and guess what? It's going to end here, not in the Vatican. Turns out it's Jerusalem I will dwell. I was just reading today in Jeremiah 8 and then Jeremiah 12, and just these plans God has. Zechariah. Oh, I love Zechariah where he says, I have greatly desired to dwell.
Oh, you got
Whoa.
that. Nice.
He's a Zionist.
On the fly. Yeah, I was realizing that it's really our job to inform as Jews, to really just inform of the revelation that we've gotten about Jesus being Jewish, about that He walked here in the Galilee. Really, just
Yeshua.
It's really, and you've been able to do that through your music.
Yeah.
Just speaking truth, just speaking truth. And I'm really excited about. I just realized it's kind of like a under subconscious calling on all Jews to really just to inform people around them, just to speak
light to
truth.
the nation. We're called to be the
And
light.
not just
Light to the
Jews.
nations, amen.
Yeah, not even just Jews, but it's just that revelation as God gives it, just to release it wherever we go, and not keep it in. And you've been doing amazing, just releasing the truth, getting it out there, being that city on the hill.
And good things are on their way. It's not all bad. Oh, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Like, the good things are coming. Good things are happening now. And God's word is good, and His plans are good, and what we're living in is good.
It might be effective to have bad things, to speak about bad things, if you're selling generators at the end of your show, or
That could be true, yeah.
bomb shelters.
The preppers.
Yeah.
But we always like to think. I know you guys well enough to know we're a glass half full kind of guys.
Yes.
There's going to be a battle in the end, but guess whose side we're
That's
on?
right. The winning team.
Side.
And you know what? When I travel, also, it's not just about the Jewish people.
That's right.
So I don't want to be here like, hey, we only, it is the gospel is. The Bible says, "I'm not ashamed of the gospel, because the power of God is salvation to everyone who believes."
That's right.
But everywhere I go, that's where the verse stops. In the churches,
Right.
The verse isn't over yet.
That's right.
It says to finish the verse to the Jew
to the
first
Jew
and
first.
also to the Gentile.
That's right.
But it says also the Gentile. So if you go here to Romans 11:25, for I do not want you, brethren, to be uninformed of this mystery, so that you will not be wise in your own estimation, that a partial hardening has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles.
Gentiles.
The nations has come in.
Yeah.
And so all Israel will be saved, just as it is written. The deliverer will come from Zion. He will remove ungodliness from Jacob. Last verse. This is my covenant with them when I take away their sin. So the nations play a huge role. So we're not just supposed to reach our people.
That's right.
The nations play a role. The fullness of the Gentiles. That's a big topic.
It's huge.
Yeah.
The fullness.
And even in the future, there's going to be peace. I mean, now I know there's tensions, but there's going to be this a season of peace where you're actually going to be able to not have weapons of war made anymore.
Like in Isaiah 2 verse 4, it says, like, beat your swords into plowshares.
Oh, yeah.
And so as we see prophecy come to life, how do we know when that's supposed to happen in actuality? Like, is that right now? Should we,
maybe we're in the beginning of the
actualize
age
that?
of-
What if I told you I had a sword right here?
What?
I don't know. What if I had
We could, just
You
have
have
it,
a-
have it.
Let's see. Oh, I have a hammer.
What? You
Why
wait
do
a
I
second.
have-
You brought a sword onto the show? That's a real sword.
Dude, that is like
You
an
brought,
Arabian.
you brought a sword. Whoa!
So
okay.
how do you go about doing
Slow
this?
down.
How do you
Wait.
actually?
Oh,
do you
you're
need
gonna
to be
beat.
skilled?
Okay, what does it say?
How about
Beat
here?
your
Or you
swords
could-
into plowshares? Does that mean make a plow?
Do you
well,
need to have?
we're all about
some kind
fulfilling
of
prophecy.
skill?
That
Okay.
So this is food we're talking about here. We're making,
Sorry. I don't know.
Wait, so you're gonna plow? You could actually weld.
Plow with the
I could
sword.
weld this.
Isn't quite how you do it.
I don't know how you.
Well, you beat it.
Oh.
You just beat it.
Ah!
You know? That's
Yeah.
Hey, that's amazing to think about the
I
reality
think
of
the
it.
translation was beat your sword into cowbells.
Oh, nice.
We need more cowbell. Definitely need more
Whoa.
cowbell. Where's the chief when you need him?
Yeah, chief. We need
Hey, hey, the chief actually came to Jerusalem.
Chief was
and
on there,
sang-
yep, and his
he
wife
sang.
Laura Lynn, yes, it was amazing.
That was amazing.
Having a native chief at
Irrawak Nation, right?
Yeah, and
he's
she's Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Yeah,
Believer.
That's amazing.
Like spirit filled. I love those.
Because the
guys.
nations come, and this is the Galilee of the nations. I was so amazed when I read that in Isaiah 9. But back to this veil that's coming off. You said so. I have here a picture of a bride. I don't.
Did you want to eat something?
Could I have some?
Okay, you have a picture of a bride.
Yeah, but here's what I was wondering. I had a question.
Talk fast while you're eating. Eat some more. Eat some more.
I'm running up.
Eat some more.
I'm taking that.
Keep going. No, hurry up.
Why does she have? All right. Why does she have a veil on her face?
Dude, douse that down with some Israeli instant coffee.
Why does she have a veil on her face? What's that about?
Well, she's not seeing him completely.
Her husband.
Her husband.
You could
And
end
he
up
can't
with,
see her completely either.
You could end up with a Leah Rachel scenario.
Whoa.
What's the purpose of that? What's the
Yeah.
reason for that?
Yeah.
So
God's
it's like
plan.
she has like some kind of scales, or how would you metaphorical?
En la Luzman.
But I know that we see through a glass darkly. 1 Corinthians 13, we see through a glass darkly. But guess what? I know, then I shall know, even as I am also known. That's what I can't wait for the bridal veil to be lifted.
Yeah.
And for a clear, like when Yeshua healed the blind dude right down there in Bethsaida. You know, they just uncovered Bethsaida.
Yes.
Ancient synagogue, right? People got to come see that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Come
That's
on,
the
worship in
Messianic-
Israel, and we've got to go to Bethsaida.
Yeah.
I don't know but right down there, he healed a guy. But what happened? He touches his face. He puts spits in the mud, and then he sees people walking
Oh yeah. Tell me
like
that story.
trees.
We were talking about this earlier. Yeah. Like what?
like trees. It's like imagine
He never
touches
saw
him,
before.
and he
He
didn't
was born
see, but
blind.
he
He was born
wasn't
blind.
immediately. It was like he's looking through a veil. Yeshua can't do it the first time. He can't get it right the first time. No, it's all part of the plan. Then he touches him the second time, and he has his sight fully restored.
And I think we're in the trees era right now in Israel, where they're like,
Yeah.
I think I get it. I think I get this,
Trees are-
Yeshua.
Yes.
Like my daughter in school, there's a phrase they call in Israel. They call Yeshua. They say Yeshu,
Yeah.
which means it's an acronym for may his name be blotted out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
Now
horrible.
they don't do that on purpose.
It's just
A
become
rabbi
the
from
name.
a long time ago,
Yeah.
rabbis from a long time ago did that because of forced conversions, because Christians were forcing people to believe, and they're like, no. And then it became this tainted name, so they used to call him Yeshu. So
Right.
it's translate. Even Google Translate used to have. You type in Jesus, it would say Yeshu.
Oh, really?
And it's changed recently.
Oh.
But my daughter, she said at her school, the history teacher, somebody said Yeshu, and the teacher was like, no, his name's Yeshua, and
Right.
he lived here in the Galilee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were like, it just shows you this
Yes.
change that's happening, and they're like, no, we know who he is,
Yeah.
So they know him, but they don't know him yet. But
They
it's
all
amazing.
want the redemption, the Geulah. Like, when is the redemption coming? When is the full restoration? And sure, they're looking around, they're seeing I am Groot.
Yeah.
It's these people that look like trees everywhere. And I'm like, no, but it's gonna get better. And the Aslan's roaring, and we got the, it's the beginning of the king in the field, the knocking on the door, and
End of the Lord of the Rings, where the trees are like fighting and throwing the.
that too.
I don't know if we got off.
We overtreat it, but yeah, I didn't
Overtreated.
But hey, what I want to just end with, if I could, is just say the music coming off these hills. The
Yeah.
music. And God's bringing in, guess who went forward in the beginning, right? You're going to a battle, who do you send in the beginning?
Joshua.
The Joshuas. You send in the priests, you send in
the worshipers, yeah.
The worshipers, and guess what? 7 times around, blow a shofar, the walls will fall.
Yeah,
the giants
amen.
will fall.
Amen.
And
Amen.
and I'm so glad to be part of
It's
this
actually
Galileans.
the Galilee is shaped like a harp. I said that pretty
Yeah,
much,
that's
but it's really kind of like a prophetic sign for worship, possibly.
Yeah.
It is. So hey, I can't wait to. I might just steal this.
If you don't have one,
I'm
I'll
kidding.
give
No.
you
But what we got to do is we got to get this worship to go throughout the world.
Hallelujah.
As people say, we want to connect with with God's land, and we want to be part of what God's got going in the Galilee. Praise the Lord for
and
that.
there's something key. I know we need to end this, but
yeah,
we're in the tri-state area right here.
Right, it is.
I mean, just across that mountain, that's the bottom. This is where the Golan Heights starts, and it just cleared up for us. It was just kind of hazy.
Oh, amazing! It looks so clear now. Yeah.
And actually, where that mountain ends, you can see that's Jordan. The next mountain below is Jordan, and this is Israel proper. But on the other side of this hill right here is Syria. So we're in the tri-state area right here where we are. As a matter of fact, in 1973, was it? No, 67 is when we took the Golan Heights. So back in 1967, that would have been Syria.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, there's still a dotted line there. You call it the armistice line. So, So it's a pretty intricate place to worship over and pray for our Syrian brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I pray for all the time. There's Christians over there being persecuted all the time, and we visited them. I visited them in Turkey. I visited them in Athens. They're all refugees. And we have a call as well to be
100%
to reach our cousins as well.
That's right.
The Arabs
Hold
and the Persians.
hands and show. This is how they know that we're disciples. Bar a love one for another. And when I see that old blown up bridge that no one knows exists, where the Palmach blew up, the transfer
like
from
47?
where you may have Lawrence of Arabia. He's overblowing up part of the Hijaz Turkish Railway that's supplying the bad guys.
Oh, Uncle
long
Lawrence.
Story short, Uncle Lawrence of Arabia. He's a British dude. But
Uncle
then
Larry.
the Palmach also blew up some of the Hijaz Railway, and then we saw an empire against empire, and the British against the Turkish, and boom, Turkish gone. But then that led way to where Israel's restored. And I say, wow, what will the future bring when we beat our swords into plowshares and we all dwell under our vine and fig tree?
Yeah.
And have worship. Yes, have worship. Thank you for coming on the show, Joshua Aaron.
You're welcome.
We love you lots. And our kids are really good friends. That's
Yes,
cool.
Baslachala, baby, the baby that's to come.
Pretty
Blessings, brother.
soon. Thank you for joining Galilee Live. Hope to see you next time in the Galilee.
May the Lord bless and keep you all the days of your life.
See you soon on the next episode of Galilee Live.